ma'am. So like, our teacher's absence, or like, the one, however, if you want to speak to you, we will
I think Vinaya
personally
ma'am
invite
is
you.
conducting the open house. Vinaya
No, no,
ma'am is
ma'am.
conducting
If we
the open
want
house.
to speak to you personally, we'll have to like just tell ma'am to invite you, right?
Yeah, you just inform Vinaya ma'am, and when if during my free period, if I can invite you, I can do that.
Okay, ma'am.
But as my class open house will be going on, maybe it could be like after that or maybe another day. It's as per the request.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
H2O liquid is changing into H2O solid. That is what happening. When your 1 mole of water is converted to ice mean H2O liquid is converted to H2O solid, right? So here you can say the change in volume. In the case of liquids and solid, delta V is actually 0. Change in volume will be 0. Or you can say that delta Ng part will be 0. Or you can say delta H is equal to almost equal to delta U. So it will be equal to 41 kilojoule per mole. Here no need of doing any calculation, but you can see just applying the concept, you are getting your answer.
Ma'am,
Yes, Siddharth.
ma'am, my doubt is like the NGRT formula, we can use
Hmm.
it where gases are not included also.
That's what that term NGR party, that part will be going because the other equation was delta H is equal to delta U P delta V, right? From there only P delta V is replaced with delta NGRT for gas molecule. So that means if non-gaseous system, you have to use that P delta V equation, or in that delta NGRT part, that delta Ng will become 0. That means that the entire term will be disappearing. That means for solids and liquids, delta V is equal to 0, or directly you can say delta Ng is equal to 0. That means the second part won't be there. So it will be almost equal. Enthalpy change and the internal energy change will be equal when you're dealing with solids and liquids. So only that NGRT part or P delta V part will be there. Basically, the change really happens for reaction.
Ma'am, the enthalpy for vaporization and converting to ice will be the same.
Enthalpy of vaporization is different from converting into ice, right? But it will be almost equal, the energy.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the how you will find the numerical question related to that enthalpy equation. Okay. Extensive tendency property we already discussed. So let's move into discussion on thermodynamic processes. There are different thermodynamic processes are there. About adiabatic process we already discussed because we were in need of it during the first law of thermodynamic derivation. So thermodynamic processes are divided into different class like category. The first one is isothermal process. Here you don't have to learn entire thing, only what is it, just for your understanding enough. Like 1 mark question. That is the only idea of discussing these points. Isothermal, adiabatic, isobaric, isochoric, cyclic process, reversible process and irreversible process. These are the different terms. You don't have to go into the detail, only like definition, just 1 mark question can be asked from these topic. So let's begin with the first one. Isothermal mean the temperature of the system remains constant. The system, the reaction of the process where the temperature is remain constant is isothermal. As I said, there is 1 mark definition is enough. You don't have to learn extra thing. So that is enough. Isothermal means same temperature. If temperature remains constant. Adiabatic, we already discussed, there is no exchange of heat between the system and surrounding, or dq is equal to 0. dq is equal to 0. dq or delta q, what is the difference between dq and delta q? D or delta both indicates change. Okay. The only thing is that one is you used in integral, that differentiation, and that is, but the meaning is same. Yeah. So isothermal, under the same temperature remains constant. Adiabatic mean no heat exchange between the system and surrounding. Isobaric mean from the word itself bar. Bar is a unit of pressure. So iso means same. Isobaric process mean maintaining the same pressure. Reaction or process taking place at constant pressure. So change in pressure will be 0. dP will be equal to 0. Isochoric process mean which takes place at constant volume. So dV equal to 0. So first 4 from the word itself it is clear. Isothermal, temperature remaining constant. Adiabatic mean no heat exchange. Isobaric mean pressure is remain constant. Isochoric mean volume is remain constant. Next one is cyclic process. What is the importance of cyclic process? Cyclic process mean if you started at one area, the reaction proceeds and come back to the original, right? That is what the cyclic reaction is. Wherever it is starting, the reaction may go through different ups and downs, but finally it is coming back to the original state, like original starting point. So in this kind of reaction, the internal energy change will be 0 because the starting internal energy depends only on the state. So wherever it started, it remains to the same place. It reaches the same place after the end of the reaction, even though it has gone through different route. But it does not depend on the route because internal energy is a state function. So as a result, you can say cyclic process, there are many intermediate steps happening, but the change in the internal energy will be equal to 0. Don't use the letter E because that was the previous notation, but we use U. Du equal to 0. U is the internal energy what we use. Okay. In the one other method, they used to represent letter E for internal energy. Cyclic process mean like you take about a water cycle.
Okay, so you go through many different processes.
But yeah, if you started from a solid, you melted it to water, water evaporated, then it is condensed. Finally, if it is come back to a solid, after so many process or changes, the total internal energy change will be equal to 0. So
Altogether, that process is a cyclic process.
So see, you started from what and you're getting the same thing after so many changes. That reaction, if you're looking, then it is a cyclic reaction. So here total change in internal energy or change in enthalpy will be equal to 0. Delta U and or dH or du will be equal to 0. That is what cyclic process. Because both of them are state function, they depends only on the state. Initial and final state is same in a cyclic process. Reversible and irreversible, that you already know. Reversible process mean they are like slow and unreal reaction. They can their direction of the reaction can be changed at any stage. We don't know when it will start reacting in the backward direction. In the beginning, it will be only forward reaction. Suddenly, backward reaction will start happening. So it's like very unreal, and you can't predict like when it will start stop or when you will come to an equilibrium. So most of the time reversible reaction will be in equilibrium with the surroundings. Even though reaction will be going on, and irreversible mean that is most of the natural process are irreversible. Irreversible mean they are very fast and completed in single step.
Ma'am, ma'am, for the isothermal process, the last line, therefore the temperature remains constant, and then what's after that?
No, that is not required. Only what is required is I have cropped and put it over here. Temperature remains constant mean there won't be change in delta temperature. So you can write dt equal to 0. That's what they've written after that. If you want, you can write it. Thus the change in temperature will be equal to 0. dt. No need to write the entire thing. As I said, isothermal mean you can write as a one point where the process in which temperature remains constant. That is enough. dt equal to 0. Adiabatic mean no exchange of heat between system and surrounding. So dq equal to 0. Isobaric mean pressure remains constant. So dp will be equal to 0. Like that one sentence is fine. Isochoric volume will be equal to change in volume will be 0, dV equal to 0, or volume remains constant. Cyclic process mean internal energy and enthalpy will not be changing.
Ma'am,
So dH and du. Yes, Vasana.
ma'am, so in adiabatic process, the heat is constant, right?
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Whatever the heat was there in the system will be remain because it is not losing it and it is not gaining it.
So it's 0, like the change in heat
Yeah,
is.
dq, yeah, change in heat is 0. Reversible and irreversible, that is a general understanding. Even you don't write it, that is fine. But at least that first 5 you can note down. Because reversible and irreversible is general. It's not only applicable to thermodynamics. Anywhere the reversible and irreversible is same definition. Any doubt in this definitions? Just one mark question is will be there. You don't have, or you will be finding some examples where you have to apply this condition. Just like you have solved that first law thermodynamics questions, right? Like you have to see the walls are adiabatic or this is an isothermal reaction like that. They may give you some hint. So only the definition is important. Any doubt?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, like the pressure and all they are functions, right? So suppose if there's like it increases and then decreases back to the same place, so will that be like isochoric and isobaric still, or it's
No.
not allowed
During
to change at all?
reaction, if the pressure remains constant, that is what isobaric. It's not like say you're doing a chemical reaction at a room temperature. So room temperature of the pressure is 1 atmosphere and that is not changing. So that is an example of isobaric process. But we
Okay.
know that there are some chemical reaction which need high pressure, especially when you will look into the industrial process, chemical reaction, large quantity preparation and all, they apply pressure. So where the pressure is not at 1 atmosphere. So that is not an isobaric process because they may have to change in the pressure during the different step of a chemical reaction. So isobaric mean like you take any chemical reaction that happened at room temperature.
Okay.
Okay. Can I change the slide? Done. Okay. Next part is measurement of delta U and delta H. It's actually done using an instrument called calorimetry or calorimeter. That is the instrument, and the process is known as calorimetry, the method. But it is not important, it's not required. So what I'm telling is like no need to learn, but just to know what is the name of particular instrument. Say if you want to calculate delta U, that is internal energy change. As I said before also, calculation of enthalpy and internal energy is not possible. We always measure the change in internal energy or change in enthalpy. The actual H and U value is not used anywhere. Always you will find we are using the term delta H and delta U. So only those measurements are important. So you can write down side heading measurement delta H and delta U, and below that you can write delta U measurements is done using Bohm calorimeter. Bohm calorimeter, that is the picture. The working or explanation is not required. Bohm calorimeter. That much is enough. Just the name. The arrangement and all is not working, is not required. Bohm calorimeter, that is how you will do the internal energy measurement is done using Bohm calorimeter. Because the working is based on some heat capacity terms and all, which is not there in your syllabus. So if you're not learning heat capacity, all that thing, then it's very difficult to understand the working of Bohm calorimeter.
Ma'am,
And
could
there
you
is no
repeat this?
application. Yeah, actually we are moving to the measurement of enthalpy and internal energy change, delta U and delta H. So first one is delta U measurement, and the instrument used is Bohm calorimeter. Only that much is enough, because the working and the procedure, the principle is not. Delta U is done using Bohm calorimeter. And similarly, delta H is done at using coffee cup calorimeter, like using the styrofoam. Formed polystyrene cup is used. Formed polystyrene cup calorimeter. Polystyrene cup calorimeter. Like you have seen the polystyrene cup, right? Because it is an insulator. It will not be transferring the heat. The boundaries will be like, you can say, so only that is enough. You don't need to learn the theory, principle, procedure, whatever. Just for the understanding that it is calculated with the enthalpy change and internal energy change. They don't calculate U and H value. Instead, it will be delta.
Good morning, everybody. As we observe the UAE flag day today, the UAE anthem will be played on the school PA system in the next few minutes. We request everybody to stand to attention. In the next 2 minutes, the UAE anthem will be played. Requesting everybody to stand to attention in respect of the anthem. Thank you.
Boys, I think the announcement was clear, right? Those who are at home.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So once you like the national anthem will be played, please raise from your position, stand still. Then
Ma'am, when?
another in another 2 minutes, because we are observing the flag day today, right?
Okay.
Polystyrene or coffee cup colorimeter, or you can say polystyrene cup colorimeter. So just the name will be enough, because you're not doing any practical or anything related to it, and no questions will come also. Next is actually from here, the actual enthalpy part is starting. This is what please be seated. Okay, so from this actually the reactions of enthalpy reactions and the main points are starting enthalpy change. So we need to define what is enthalpy change of a reaction. We are measuring it, but we need to define in different chemical reaction how it is changing, what are the factors affecting, and then how it is differing. Like during the melting, what is the change in enthalpy, and during vaporization, what is change in enthalpy. Like that, in different process or different chemical reaction, what are how it is changing. So generally, you can see enthalpy change is usually represented with the letter delta H, and if you write a small letter r as a subscript, it is written in the, it is be called as, like it will can be pronounced as enthalpy change of reaction. That letter R indicates reaction. So this is the representation for enthalpy of reaction is that delta HR, and it defines that it is the enthalpy change accompanying a chemical reaction. It is the enthalpy change accompanying a chemical reaction So if you have a general reaction, reactant changing into product, a general reaction. So enthalpy of reaction can be defined. It is the change in enthalpy, or you can say the enthalpy change in reaction is called reaction enthalpy or enthalpy of reaction.
And it's denoted by that R, so delta RH, right?
Yeah, it is denoted by delta HR, and it is usually calculated by enthalpies of the product minus enthalpies of the reactant. Enthalpies of product minus enthalpies of the reactant. So if you have 2 or 3 products forming, you have to calculate enthalpies of all the 3 products, then minus and all the enthalpies of the reactant. The final answer will be the enthalpy change for that particular reaction. This reaction can be a neutralization reaction, it can be a redox reaction, it can be an atomization, it can be a rearrangement reaction. or it can be a bond breaking and bond formation reaction. So you can have a different types of chemical reaction. So enthalpy associated with it also will be differing. So now in the next step onwards, what we're going to discuss is like, what is the importance of standardizing enthalpy? What is the importance of standardizing enthalpy? See, here we are doing a chemical reaction. Say example, I am treating HCl with NaOH. HCl with NaOH, it's a neutralization reaction, right? So I'm measuring the enthalpy change during neutralization, okay? And here in UAE, what is the climate atmospheric temperature? Mostly it will become around 25 or 30, like at these time at least, okay? But when you're doing some other part of the world, the temperature is different. Maybe pressure might be slightly on it, living in a very high range place or on top of mountain areas, right? The pressure may slightly change. And the other factors are there, like maybe atmospheric other conditions, right? So when we are doing a reaction, or you are taking HCl, I'm taking an aqueous solution, and maybe you will take an HCl gas. You can do this reaction. I didn't specify whether it's a liquid or aqueous or gas, and some can take sodium hydroxide as solid pellets, right? So there are so many ways you can do this particular chemical reaction. So you will be getting different values when you take a different condition. The temperature is different, the state of the substance is different. Some are taking dissolved aqueous condition, some are in the solid state, some are in the gaseous state, like that. So all these kind of changes will make a change in the enthalpy calculation. To make it uniform, there are certain conditions are set, and if you maintain that condition and do a particular chemical reaction, the enthalpy change measured will be same in any part of the world. Say example, you have to maintain 1 atmospheric pressure condition, 298 Kelvin as the temperature, and you say you take standard state. Standard state mean, anyway we'll discuss next class in detail, but say standard state mean HCl will be in the form of aqueous condition, because HCl is not a gas in the normal condition. Like that, we have to maintain the certain condition to make it uniform in any part of the world. Okay, so we'll have the discussion tomorrow, and we will discuss more about different types of enthalpies. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.